Hello everyone, welcome to New Wealth Japan. I'm thrilled to have you here today. This channel is dedicated to helping travelers from around the world discover and experience the very best of Japan. From ancient temples and historic castles that have stood for centuries, to the vibrant world of anime, unique Japanese souvenirs, and incredible cuisine that will tantalize your taste buds, we cover it all. Japan is a country where tradition meets innovation, where you can enjoy a traditional tea ceremony in the morning and explore cutting-edge technology districts in the afternoon. It's this beautiful contrast that makes Japan so fascinating. We're passionate about sharing hidden gems, travel tips, and cultural insights that will make your Japanese adventure unforgettable. Whether you're planning your first trip or you're a seasoned Japan traveler, we've got something special for you. I'm truly grateful that so many people from all corners of the world share this passion for Japanese culture with us. Your enthusiasm and curiosity inspire every video we create. So sit back, relax, and let's explore Japan together. Let's get started.
Welcome to Todaiji Temple. This temple was founded in 745 during the Nara period at the wish of Emperor Shōmu and is one of Japan's most representative ancient temples. It was established as the head temple of the provincial temples built throughout the country, with prayers for national peace and the prosperity of Buddhism. It is registered as a UNESCO World Cultural Heritage Site under Historic Monuments of Ancient Nara. The main attraction is the Rushana Buddha, commonly known as the Great Buddha of Nara, standing approximately 15 meters tall. The Great Buddha Hall is known as one of the world's largest wooden structures, and its majestic appearance overwhelms visitors. Although it was 1.5 times larger at the time of its founding, it was destroyed by fire repeatedly and rebuilt during the Edo period.
Alright, so let's talk about Todaiji Temple. We're here in Nara, Japan, and if you're standing in front of it, you know it's huge. But this isn't just about a big old building. This is the story of an unbreakable giant. A place that's a symbol of a whole nation's spirit, one that's been burned to the absolute ground and rebuilt, not once, but twice, over almost 1,300 years. Okay, first things first, you've got to wrap your head around the sheer scale of this place. The main hall you're looking at, it's called the Daibutsuden, or the Great Buddha Hall. And get this, it is the largest wooden building on the entire planet. Seriously, it's just breathtaking. And you can feel it right away. This wasn't just built to be big. Oh no, it was built to make a massive statement.
And here's the real kicker. That enormous building you see today, that incredible structure, it's actually version 3.0. Yep, the whole thing has been burned to the ground twice in its history. And that's the story we're diving into. It's this incredible cycle of how a nation's dream was built, completely lost, and then just stubbornly, almost miraculously, built all over again.
So to really get why this place even exists, we have to rewind. Way back, all the way to the 8th century. Japan was facing a crisis of epic proportions. And this temple, it wasn't just some grand construction project. It was basically a desperate nationwide prayer cast in bronze and wood. Just try to imagine the sheer scale of the disaster they were dealing with back then. A massive smallpox epidemic just tore through the country. We're talking an estimated 25 to 35% of the entire population gone. It was a catastrophe on the level of the Black Death in Europe. And if that wasn't bad enough, there were droughts, famines, and all kinds of political chaos happening at the same time. And this quote from the emperor at the time, Emperor Shōmu, it just says it all. He's saying all disasters are due to my lack of virtue. Wow. He felt this immense personal responsibility. He didn't see it as just a random disaster. He saw it as a reflection on him, a personal and spiritual failure. He was absolutely desperate to find some way, any way, to unite and heal his broken country. So where did he find his answer? In a school of Buddhism called Chōgen. And the core idea is actually pretty beautiful. It's that everything in the universe is connected. Every little piece is part of one giant reality. And this idea gave him a spark. He thought, what if we create a massive national project? Something everyone in Japan could contribute to. And that's where the idea for the Great Buddha, the Daibutsu, came from. A way to unite everyone in a single massive act of faith.
And look at the timing here, it's absolutely crucial. The order to build this thing came in 743, right after this horrible period of death and suffering. So, this wasn't some kind of vanity project for the emperor, no way. This was a response born out of desperation. And by 752, after almost a decade of work that involved something like half the country's population, the giant bronze statue was finally finished. It really was a nation's prayer.
answered in bronze. So, for more than 400 years, the temple was this incredible symbol of peace. Everything was good. But that peace, it was about to be completely shattered. This leads us to the first great catastrophe and an even more incredible story of rebirth. Fast forward to 1180. Japan is in the middle of a brutal civil war, the Genpei War. The Taira clan sets fire to the entire city of Nara, and Todaiji gets caught in the inferno. The Great Buddha Hall, most of the other buildings, just gone, consumed by flames. Even the Great Buddhist statue itself melted. It was an absolutely devastating loss, culturally and spiritually. But, believe it or not, they started rebuilding almost immediately. A remarkable monk named Chōgen led the charge. And this is where the story takes a really fascinating international turn. See, Chōgen knew that if they were going to do this right, they needed the best of the best. And for that, he looked to China. He set up this whole network with the port city of Ningbo, which was a huge hub for the most skilled craftspeople around. And this quote just shows you how committed they were. The Chinese stonemasons Chōgen brought over, well, they weren't too impressed with the local Japanese stone. They had their own favorite, a special high-quality sandstone from back home. So what did they do? In what must have been an incredible logistical nightmare, they actually arranged to have this specific plum garden stone quarried in China and then shipped all the way over to Nara, just for this project. And get this, archaeologists have actually found proof of how this whole incredible system worked. This half-finished stone horse, it was found in a riverbed in China, right between the quarry and the port. It tells us that the artisans would basically carve the rough shape of these massive sculptures right there at the quarry to make them lighter, and then ship them to Japan for all the final detailed work. I mean, talk about long-distance collaboration. It was a truly international effort. So this rebuilt temple stands for another 400 years. It's this amazing testament to international cooperation. And you'd think, okay, that's it, story over. But nope, the temple's trials were far from finished. Come the 16th century, Japan is plunged back into civil war. And once again, Todaiji is right in the line of fire. You know, the difference between the two disasters is just stark. After that first fire in 1180, they got to work rebuilding right away. But when it burned again in 1567, things were different. Japan was in its chaotic, warring states period. There was no money, no central government to lead the charge. And so for over 100 years, the Great Buddha just sat there, headless, exposed to the wind and the rain. It's a heartbreaking image. It took until the peaceful Edo period all the way to 1709 for the temple to finally be rebuilt again. And here's a wild fact for you, especially if you're standing there looking at it. As absolutely massive as today's Great Buddha Hall is, it's actually about 30% smaller than the first two versions. Why? Well, they just couldn't find big enough trees anymore, so they had to scale the whole thing down. What's so cool is that the Great Buddha statue itself is literally a patchwork of history. When you look at it, you're not just seeing a statue. You're seeing a physical timeline of survival. The base, those lotus petals, parts of that are from the original 8th century statue. The body, that's from the 13th century rebuild. And the head, that's from the 17th century reconstruction. It's 3 different eras, all fused together into this one incredible figure. So what does all this crazy history mean for you visiting today? Well, it means the temple grounds are like a living museum. You've got different centuries all standing side by side. So let's talk about a few things you absolutely cannot miss. Okay, when you walk through that giant Nandemon gate, you have to stop and look up. You'll see these 2 absolutely massive, fierce guardian statues. One's called Agyo. His mouth is open, symbolizing the beginning of all things. The other is Ungyo, mouth closed for the end. Now here's the part that will blow your mind. These enormous statues, each made from about 3,000 separate blocks of wood, were carved by the master sculptors Unkei and Kaikei in just 69 days. 69 days. It's just a stunning masterpiece from that Kamakura period rebuild. Now, even though so much has been rebuilt, you can still find bits and pieces of the original 8th century temple. Think of it like a little treasure hunt. First, right in front of the Great Buddha Hall, look for the bronze octagonal lantern. That thing is an original survivor from 752. Next, go find the Taigamon Gate. It's the only gate left from the very first construction. And finally, you can't go inside, but you have to see the Shōsō-in repository. It's the original storehouse that's been protecting Emperor Shōmu's personal treasures for over 1,200 years. But You know, this brings us to what might be the most powerful symbol of Tōdaiji's survival. And it's not a building at all. It's a ritual. Through 2 world-ending fires, through wars, through centuries of change, there is one ceremony that has been performed every single year, without ever stopping. Not once.
It's called the Omizutori. Every March, for 2 weeks straight, monks perform these ancient rites of repentance for the nation. And this tradition, it has been unbroken since the year 752. Just let that sink in for a second. Think of everything that's happened in the world since 752, and this has never stopped. It proves that this place is so much more than a historical site. It's a living, breathing center of faith. The spirit of the temple, it never died, even when the buildings themselves were just ash.
So as you walk around the grounds of Todaiji, just think about that question for a minute. What really makes a building last? Is it the wood and the stone? I mean, most of the original wood here is long gone. The original bronze was melted down. And yet, Todaiji is still here. It seems like the true foundation of this unbreakable giant isn't the stuff it's made of. It's the people. It's the continuous will to rebuild. And that unbroken chain of faith that has kept its spirit alive for almost 1,300 years.
And that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed exploring this part of Japan with us. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more travelers like you who love Japan. And here's the most important part. If you haven't already, please subscribe to New Wealth Japan and hit that notification bell. By turning on notifications, you'll be the first to know whenever we upload a new video. We post new content regularly, featuring different destinations, food experiences, and cultural insights across Japan, so you won't want to miss out. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Do you have any questions about what we covered today? Is there a specific place in Japan you'd like us to feature in an upcoming video? Maybe a particular Japanese dish you're curious about, or a cultural tradition you want to learn more about? Please share your thoughts, questions, and suggestions in the comments below. We read every single comment, and your feedback helps shape our future content. Also, if you've been to Japan before, we'd love to hear about your experiences. Share your favorite memories or travel tips with our community. Let's learn from each other. Thank you so much for watching and for being part of our New Wealth Japan family. Your support means the world to us. Until next time, safe travels, and see you in the next video. Sayonara.